Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor. It
Good
is.
afternoon.
It is time for us
For
to
the
chill.
Sunday social.
That's right.
How are you this afternoon, Shannon?
Oh, well, a part of me is very peaceful and content, and the other part of me is absolutely just mind blown at the incompetency of Orange County here in Southern California. But there's that.
Well, pre-show. Hey, Biggie. Pre-show, Shannon and I was like, we got to just shut up and get on the air because we were already talking about this. Um, I'm on the East Coast. Shannon's on the West Coast. And, of course, I don't know what the local news is. I've been zoned in on a television show for a minute. Um, there's a leak at an aerospace facility in, what is it, Garden Grove?
Yes, Garden Grove, which is surrounded by Anaheim, Cypress, like a whole bunch of other cities right there in that vicinity, including two very, very widely known, popular amusement parks. Now, Knott's Berry Farm is one of them, and Knott's Berry Farm has shut down and evacuated. I mean, that whole block of the evacuation zone is pretty much a ghost town. But Disneyland has decided, because they are on the outskirts of the evacuation zone, they have no plans to evacuate or shut down, even if this chemical tank explodes. So let me just kind of briefly explain a bit of the situation. Something happened a few days ago where water was not able to get into the cooling facility portion of this tank. So the heat started rising. They didn't they still to this point don't understand what exactly went on chemical reaction wise, but the temperature continues to rise. There are only two situations that can come from this situation because they cannot get the temperature down no matter how much they've tried in the last 48 hours. One is it's going to leak. So, this chemical, which is called, I have a picture of it, hold on. I'm not good at memorization, guys. Sorry about that. Um, methyl methacrylate. I don't know if I said that right, but anyways, this is a highly toxic chemical. It's plastic derived. And so this tank is either going to leak this stuff all in this whole vicinity, getting into the ocean, the city's water supply, all of that, or it is going to explode. Those are the only two options at this moment in time. The valve is gunked up, so they absolutely cannot do anything at this moment but just try and get water on it, which is all they've been doing. So at this point, now, too, mind you, there is a much larger tank right next to the smaller tank that is having the issue, and the area is surrounded by more manufacturing facilities. So many other explosive type of materials. This is going to be a catastrophic situation. And even Governor Newsom is trying to get Trump's attention right now on it. So that's kind of where we're at this moment in time.
Momente.
Mm-hmm.
10-4. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking up something. I was trying to look up and see what kind of businesses were in that area. This one is a aerospace business, correct?
That's correct.
GKN Aerospace Facility. Well, let's see who you are. We
I
just
def
gonna be curious.
I definitely would ask for prayers for the people who live in that area. I actually have dear friends of mine who own a, a recording studio out there that I record at all the time. And a lot of my music is recorded there, and they are also, recording artists in my songs, and they're just like family to all of us. And so I just ask for prayers for them too, especially hopefully they come out this way and just evacuate, and because they are literally 3 blocks away from the end of the evacuation zone. But let's just face it, this evacuation zone that they have pointed out is a bunch of bull. It is not accounting for all the chain reaction that's going to take place if that thing blows. A lot more things are going to explode, and not even that, but there's also going to be all of these spot fires that are going to ignite all over the place because of the
Okay, well,
businesses. I mean,
GKN Aerospace is 15.1 acres, has 32 manufacturing plants on that acreage. So, mm, I'm sorry. I'm reading as you go, and I'm trying not to be reactive. I'm trying to scan multiple sources all at once.
right.
Screen share. When I do, it starts making a stutter.
I am a bit reactive right now because I'm angry. This is a place I've spent all my life. I have family in Orange County area. I mean, this is just really frustrating, and I cannot tell you how upset I am with Disneyland right now. They're being that is absolute sheer negligence. Like, just to be on the air side of precaution, you would think they would want to protect their assets. I don't know. I guess I'm just like, what's the end goal? What's the bigger picture in this? Because I don't know. This isn't an accident to me. This is some kind of shenanigans. I call shenanigans.
Well, this is my thing. You are an aerospace company, which is fabricating things for next generation aircraft. So why would you let an old valve cause an issue?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it like that. I see that as something that should be a well maintained facility.
I'm gonna give you a hint on who owns that. It starts with a black.
Oh,
Yeah. Uh-huh. And then there's like a rock in there somewhere.
oh my goodness! Kind of like graduation caps
Mm-hmm.
for high school. Those square things.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Ten
Mm-hmm.
four. 10-4, good buddy. Oh, my kid's trying to get in. He went somewhere for me. Sorry, buddy. I'm on air. Thank you. Let's see. The one tier has 32 facilities in 12 countries. Structural components for engine systems, cockpit canopies, commercial and military aircraft.
I'm gonna
Oh,
state this right now. For anyone who is in Anaheim or Garden Grove or any of the surrounding areas in that area, not only do you need to take that evacuation seriously, but you need to get the heck out of that area completely. Those evacuation centers, I would not trust because they are not far enough. Aside from the actual physical damage of a, a chain reaction explosion, you have to understand that not just this chemical is going to be released, but all of the other, fire damaged chemicals that are in all of the buildings around, whatever toxic stuff is out there, whatever manufacturing plants surrounding that we don't know what chemicals they're working with. There's a lot to be thrown in there to think of your health and safety of your family. So if I were you, I would get as far away from that area as possible right now, because they are not sure of the implications. They have scientists on the ground right now who have no idea what this is going to do. They have equipment that just showed up in the last 2 hours that is ready for damage control on a mass scale.
Yeah, because that'll activate that that agency that kind of rhymes with Beamer. Like a BMW you drive.
100%. But it's just like, this is such a massively heavy tourist area. It's not just the amusement parks. There's so much in that surrounding area that is world famous. And there are just people who come in droves all the time. And again, I just want to remind you, it is Memorial Day weekend. So there are more people in those surrounding areas than normal. So I don't mean to sound like a fear monger or be all whatever serious, but this is a very serious situation. And I mean, even if it doesn't explode and it just leaks, that's just not something I would take my chances with. We're already poisoned like 24/7 with every little darn thing. So
yeah, and I don't know. There's a lot of things that this whole situation can trigger on down the line. See, now I'm hearing an echo on my end. Sorry. There's just multiple things going on, and that one seems like there's not a positive outcome to it. And if they've never had a situation like this before, okay.
Rhymes with crack rock. Yep, Biggie.
All right, Shannon, spell this chemical. Spell it.
Okay. METHYL. Next word. METHACRYLATE. Oh, that's funny. You separate that and it's all methacrylate. I'll go cry later. That's for sure.
All right, let's see. It is a clear, highly reactive, flammable organic compound with a sharp, fruity odor. It is the building block for making acrylics like plexiglass, orthopedic bone cement.
So it's in the acrylics department. And I know that, okay, there is a difference between like acrylic nails, right? And this type of acrylic for plexiglass, but not that far off. But just imagine any of you who have been in a nail salon, especially back in the day before gel or Gel-X or any of that stuff was ever introduced. It was always just acrylic. But you go in with like a good 10 booth nail salon and you're going to get high on those acrylic fumes. It's pretty intense. You could walk by it like the old days when you walked in a mall and there was a nail salon in the mall, you could smell that for
Girl, it was like Bath and Body Works. You knew it was coming.
It was coming.
It was around the corner. Okay, I know that some of our science people in the audience, isn't there a way and see, this is where my brain goes. I don't know enough about a chemical like this to. Okay, like if you're talking about something, any other chemical that explodes, is there is like a volume of that chemical creates a X amount of size of explosion? I mean, I'm wondering if it was to explode, what kind of blast radius are we talking about?
See, and that's the thing that is driving me crazy. All these predictions of the blast radius zone are absolutely incorrect because it is not taking in all of these other factors. And the fact that they have scientists on the ground right now who don't know what the implications are, that means that they cannot give any kind of guarantee of any kind. So why in the heck are you half-assing this evacuation zone with so many unknown factors?
And you're already saying there's no good outcome. So
Exactly.
why not move people out? And now, okay, we got them out. The next round of you, let's try to go ahead and get y'all on out just to be safe. Like, I don't know. I guess it's also something, if you're local to that area, you should be paying attention to what's going on locally. But I don't, and that's the thing, because I don't like watching the news.
But again, though, you have to remember Disneyland is right there. Everyone from around the world goes there. So it's not even just like in this particular situation,
Well,
just
and see,
because
that's
it's their
another
area.
thing. If you've ever been in and you stay inside of there, they call it what is it, the happiest little place on earth or something like that.
This place on earth, it's
When you go in there, there's no local news. There's no bad news. You don't see anything bad. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
they
it's
squash.
right. It's weird in there, and you don't think about it so much. It just makes you think, oh, it's shiny and clean. No, they've just hidden all the dirt. It's still there, and it's way worse. But
If
I know
you
they want chaos is the plan. Yeah, I agree, and we're trying not to be reactive. There have just been a few things that have happened this weekend, and um, just want everybody to be aware of that. I from the consensus of what I can see from my East Coast news feed, there's not a real positive outcome to this. There's no way to repair it. It's either going to leak or going to explode.
yeah.
I would like to know how we formulate this, what's going to happen. I thought the next, see, this was a, what is this? KTLA News Los Angeles. Map showing potential blast zones. No, I'm not hardlined over here. I have never done that, Daniel. I'm still on Wi Fi. And it was all good until they replaced some box out there by the road for the fiber optic. And now we keep getting stutters here. Yeah, it's being acting up. Let's see.
And then on top of this too, I'll just throw it out there. I know you on the East Coast has some kind of was it another situation too you mentioned this morning?
Well, evidently Trump was in New York or New Jersey for some family event, and all of a sudden he leaves and comes back. And it was just like, changes don't be made that fast to somebody's agenda that they drop everything and go back home. Something's going on. It weren't nothing small. And then I
Mhm.
heard a rumor that it was possibly they had found an assassination attempt against his daughter or something. I don't know. It was his son's wedding. I don't know. Something went on.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it. I don't have the information for it. But something went on, and they got him back fast.
Well, in LA County, we also have a major oil pipeline uh, problem, and we're just talking hundreds of thousands of gallons of oil being pumped into the Long Beach ocean area. So there's just kind of a lot going off right now. I know there were other explosions throughout the last 2 weeks throughout the United States and different plants in facilities. I mean, if we haven't figured out by now that we are already at war and being attacked, I don't know what to tell you guys, but this is just becoming more and more obvious by the day. You know, they've been attacking our food supply, the disrupting the supply chain just in every way possible, then adding tariffs on top of it and these other countries. I mean, there's just so much on top of everything that at this point you have to understand that they are trying to weaken the people to the point to where they can come in and take over and into whatever plan it is they want. They can't do that if people are happy and secure. So in these several years they have been systematically taking out our food, our water, our energy sources, everything imaginable. We are at war.
Absolutely. Amen. Amen.
You
I
know,
was letting you get it, girl. Get it.
yeah, biblically speaking, I would like to note that in many of the Bibles in the Bible stories in the Old Testament, in battle scenarios where the Israelites were outnumbered, many times they had plans to what they did was they took out food supplies, they took out their crops, they poisoned waters, or they did things to take out the strength of the people and the security. They were weak and they were able to take them out. This is still happening today. They don't want to tell you to your face we're at war because they don't want the implications to come upon them. They want us in this slow boil so we take each other out and all the tension. And
Well,
I'm
I
sorry.
have noticed. I have noticed that people are a little more cranked up here lately. Like people in the store just seem irritated. Like people are very short. They're cutting you off in traffic. They're blowing the horn. I'm like, where is everybody in such a rush? It's like everybody around you is just, I don't know. I've felt it the past couple of days. It's like, then, that person that just comes flying around you because you're just doing the speed limit. It's 35. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
it's two lanes that turn into two different kind of lanes. And they go, wow, and come flying around you. We're both getting stuck at the red light up ahead. It takes that confounded thing 10 minutes to turn, and you're lucky if you ain't got to sit through it twice. Why are you in such a hurry? You must not be from around here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's like, did they come from here? Because that's everyone out here. Someone apparently has somewhere to go out in
right.
California.
But I've noticed the past couple of days, like everybody seems a little, and when I look at this human resonance, it makes sense because it's been
Yeah,
a little haywire.
it's been wild. Look at that white. Look at that. It's just like,
Somebody's been busy. Yeah, that's been wild. I didn't realize how strong it had been, but maybe that explains some things. I don't know. But yeah, like I've seen which now, like I told y'all, it's been bike week here for a couple of weeks. Unusual thing and unusual people is much higher, and I don't say unusual. I just mean not from here. You can tell the difference in
mhm.
like driving styles and the way the aggressiveness of their tone. But like I have a family member who works in hospitality, and even they mentioned she was like everybody was just so dang aggressive, like the world was out to get them or take them for something. And she said, I don't know. She said it's just been like that for a week now. Yeah.
I just want to read this scripture that Remote Viewer 57 put it up here. First Thessalonians 5:3 in the King James Version. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. That is exactly what seems to be happening right now. Good pointing that out there. You know, again, I know I'm a little ramped up. I'm a little upset because this is really close to home.
Right, it's local,
like
yeah.
45 minutes away and like grew up in this place. Like
Well, and from my perspective from here, I've only visited out there one time, and it was a lot different than it was here. But the congestion wise of if you have to get out of there, that's not going to be speedy.
no.
So it needs to be something that's prepared for ahead of time, just in case.
And this is why I'm just begging any of you who are listening who is in this area or you know of anybody, please share this information and let them know not to trust this evacuation zone map, because I wouldn't trust it with a 20 million foot pole. The scientists do not know what the implications are for this. So when they're telling you, "Oh, don't worry," in this particular case, considering there is only one of two outcomes that happens, it's kind of like, just be smart, you know? Don't take their word for face value.
I got you. I hear you. I'm pulling up a graphic. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you could put up the evacuation zone area one more time, and maybe their projection of the blast zone, because again, I don't find this to be correct now, understanding the domino effect that it will trigger if it explodes. But I just wanted people out there to understand that this map should not be taken for face value, and I would, in my view, put on several miles in circumference upon that.
I'm looking it up. I went about it the wrong way.
And Philip and Freddie, if you're listening, which you're probably not, but if you're listening, Philip and Freddie, come to Costas's. Don't even try to wait this out.
I had a link to it on here a while ago. Let's see if I can find it again. And Daniel sent a map showing all of the. I got to try to look it up. It's hard to get it from the phone to the computer here without. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Just hang
That's
on a minute.
okay, Tech Queen. You do you. You got this. I believe
That is not what I'm looking
in
for.
you.
My brain ain't functioning.
So how are all of you guys today? How's everyone feeling? I know that I can say this. I know that I am very blessed today, that I have my beautiful family. My son just turned 16. My daughter's about to turn 19, so they got another year on their belt. They both got vehicles now. My daughter is safe in a safe vehicle. There's, we're about to merge with an amazing, massive family, and I'm really excited to hang out with them. I just wanted to state some blessings today because, and hey, I'm here and breathing and up and moving. So there's always that.
Fighting a good fight.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm trying to email the map from my phone to the desktop. I'm
So as
getting
you
there,
guys
y'all.
see, this is their evacuation zone. That it's been about that for the last 24, maybe a little bit more hours. I know it expanded yesterday at some point to what it is now, but it as you see, or well, actually, you can't at this moment, but you will in a second. But as you'll see, the actual facility isn't even in the center of this evacuation zone, which is very perplexing. It's like kind of off to the side. And I'm curious as to why that is, because, physics wise tells us in an explosion, it's going to outwardly radiate in a circumference, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, how is it that that side is slightly safer than the other side when it's going to encircle out in the same exact proportions in a circular motion, if that makes sense? I'm trying to explain it. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
It's shaped
And
like a boot.
I right, and ironically enough, you'll see that Disneyland is just on those outskirts in a couple of block range from that. So what did they cut it off just so Disneyland could say we're okay? Because let me tell you, that makes literally no sense. Literally no sense. The laws of
Mm.
nature do not fit in a boot. The laws of nature
No, I think
will
the
tell
laws of
you that
nature.
shape is like a joke. Okay, so I'm
Hmm.
sorry, but I
Yeah,
mean, just
that's all.
make that make sense. Okay.
Yeah, the math ain't math in there, amigo. And they've got, and what they've done is they pulled these people in this block from their home and took them 2 mile, two, three,
Yes.
4 blocks out to the high school and put them
You
all in there.
You see what I'm saying, guys? Do not go to their designated shelters. Get the heck out of this area. Like, you need to go.
Keep moving.
Keep on moving.
Keep on moving. The prices is cheaper. They could even eggs is cheaper in the country. Keep moving.
So this is
Oh,
where I'm like, this should show you how much they truly value human life. They don't care about us. Okay, I'm
no.
just saying. It's
Okay, hang on. Clayton saying something. I'm trying to get a map up, Clayton. I got to put this on the screen. I can't because I'm sharing the screen. Anyway, yeah, I can. There it goes. Just
Oh,
want to say
distract.
one thing. My internet connection is horrible, y'all. It's like lagging. Yes, they are also distractions.
Well, part of me is wondering, like, are they planning a data center right there? But because there's just so much going on, like they need some excuse, like a big giant hole in the ground that's already in existence.
Maybe they need a new crater.
I just like,
That's, that's
oh,
pretty dark, but I'm sorry, guys. It's like,
okay, look, there are a lot of you guys live in areas that have, like, how far is your neighbor, Roxy?
oh, me?
Yeah.
Um, well, I mean, 6 acres in width. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, there's trees between us. If it was flat land with nothing, I could probably see his house in the distance.
But you got space.
I got
A
space.
lot of a lot of people out in, middle America or in a lot of different states have the lovely, lovely blessing of having space around them. Well, you're talking, this is a big mega city area. It's already a tourist space, but we've got people stacked upon stacked upon stacked upon each other. Most of the residential area in that space are apartments and condos. So we're talking, I mean, just so many multi-family people in one building on top of each other, right? Just like there's no space in between to walk in between these buildings.
Mm-mm. No,
They're
you can't get
stacked
a golf
upon.
cart between the houses where you're at.
So the amount of population in this small area is so much more cram packed than maybe a lot of the places you guys live, where populations are a lot more spread out because there's more land available. So, I mean, these are the things I'm thinking about. The amount of families that will be affected by that is just immense because, I mean, even the fact that when it blows, because let's just face it, it's going to blow. Um, those homes are gone. It's all gone. So, we already have all these, devastating fires, all these insane, what I would do in quotation marks as natural disasters. But, you're just talking about a very heavily congested population. And that it's just, yeah.
I was trying to think. I want to remember a movie that went a whole lot like that. And what had happened was some type of corrupt device or something, had happened to our internal governmental, not necessarily governmental, but like they knew the way to attack was from within with, some kind of bug or a parasite, say, that they had inserted into the system somehow and could take over and change the parameters for things like this and cause bad things to happen remotely. Wasn't there a movie like that one time?
Oh, I'm pretty sure. What is the name of it? Oh, I can't think. Do you know the name?
Just thinking out loud, I'm pretty sure there was a movie based on a very similar sounding plot line. Mm.
Oh, of course.
And you remember we were talking about this the other day. Remember when we were talking here a while back and that country over there was saying they were threatening that they were gonna wipe everybody's debt out and they were gonna remove everything.
Right?
And we were like, okay, well, when are you gonna hold out on that threat, buddy? And we figured out
Right.
that they were pretty good hackers too. That they're real good at that. That's why that was such a joke.
Well, think about this, right? Okay, 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 okay. I just put a puzzle piece together. Hold on.
New boot goofing.
Okay. So for when all this started, right? And they were talking about retaliation and blah 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 and the fear mongering and talking about an FF false F, you
Mm-hmm.
know, right? Situation. They kept pointing to this one building in LA because the dude who owned the Twin Towers owns this building. So everyone was like, oh, they're going to blow this up. This is going to be the next one. This is the next FF right here, right here, right here. Dude, no,
Mm.
no, no, no. It's called Disneyland, guys. Think about it. Think about the whole, Satan's hemorrhoid situation and the
Mm-hmm.
connection with the mouse and all the underground stuff, right? The subway or subway, the submarine stations, and things along those lines when we're talking about transporting children, right?
Mm-hmm. And they
Right.
just happened. There was a lot of stuff that just happened with some cruise ships here a while back.
Yeah, that's correct. With some more PDF files.
Yeah. Whole lot of things going on in the world, everybody. Whole
Hmm.
lot of things.
But if you really, really want to FF America, why not hit them right where the mouse lives? That
Yeah.
needs, with all those things that got to be covered up, anyways. I'm just saying.
You know what, Shannon?
Right? Like I said, I just put some puzzle pieces together.
All right, girl, be easy there. You out loud. Remember that.
I
You,
know.
I, girl, I'm just saying, like, okay, you are my whoop. I'm just saying. Reminder in effect. Get it.
I'm feeling it, okay? I'm all.
I
Have
know.
you ever seen Clue? Right? There's when Mrs. White is like the flames, the flames, the rose. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, I'm my brain thinks in movie theory. There's a movie based on that. Old movie where
You take out the happiest place on earth, right? Who you gotta get upset? A lot of people. I don't know. I just throwing this out there, considering the situation.
it's called mm, there was a movie called Virus in 1999. Think of Cyberdyne factory contaminated with alien life form thing. Oh,
Oh,
we got to see what this movie is.
oh,
I'm telling you, there's something that reminds me of this whole. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, and one of the brothers,
hmm.
William Bob. Yeah, I'm waiting on
Donald
it to stop
Sutherland.
going haywire. Yeah, give me the plot of it. Blatantly copies Alien, Predator, and other genre films without adding originality. Do you not give me any plot on the movie?
IMDb usually
None.
does.
And this may be it. After outrunning a typhoon at sea, a strong-willed tugboat navigator discovers a high-tech alien life form taking control of a Russian research vessel and aims to destroy on a massive scale. Yes, I've seen this. It's like they picked up the black goo.
Huh.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Yes,
what's
ma'am.
interesting too about that, what you just said, is they keep bringing up that the scientists don't know what the chemical reaction is that is set off this whole situation. And I'm just like, mm, did some black goo get in there? I don't know.
Okay, well, in this movie, I've seen this movie. In this movie, there's a Russian science vessel that's kind of like way out at ocean. I can't remember if they have a submersible or whatever, but they end up picking up something, and the the Russian people on this boat that you're seeing right there, they've kind of been possessed, so to speak, and this just it like yeah. Yeah, it was this goo that they picked up for a virus or something from something they pulled up out of the ocean. And it was like yeah, it took over the computer system. See, it starts trying to run the world, forcing launch codes, causing meltdowns. Yeah. Very
Interesting.
interesting. Very interesting. I don't know. I just knew there was a movie that come to mind with that. My mind thinks in terms of television sometimes, if that makes sense. Because I
Right.
don't know, my mind operates kind of like a DVR.
Well, they are always putting their plans in plain sight in these movies. I mean, really, movies are predictive programming. It's indoctrinating you into I can never remember this word. Why does it always elude me? Uh to comply. It's compliance in all these different ways, and the more traumatized you are, you're more able to comply.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
The more chaos you're in, the more easier you are to break.
Conditioning. That is it. Conditioning. Why can I never remember this?
Mhm. Everybody keep praying because it seems like everything's just everything's humming. We are getting some rain here. We really needed some rain, and we're getting some rain, and it's not too much. It's just kind of dreary and a good steady little rain. It's I hate that it's happened on Memorial Day weekend, but let me tell you, there is more people within the borders of this county than I think have ever been before. I have seen pictures of bike weeks down there. These last 2 or 3 weeks of bike week in Myrtle Beach, I don't know if maybe the COVID release is finally like built up and people had to get back out, but oh my word, were they crowded this year?
Yes.
Like 4-lane highways being shut down. There's so many people on the edge of the streets and on sidewalks, just oodles and groups of bikes parked there, and everybody looking at each other's bikes and kind of huddled up. They were shutting down traffic at points. There was so many people there.
Well, if you think about it, as Memorial Day weekend is here, there's some high ritual holiday involved because every national holiday type of a situation is always a ritual high holiday. So they're really pushing the energy, the looshing, right, of all
Hmm.
of this. So the more you cram pack these situations, the more energy harvesting you have in these high ritual holidays. And I want I have to mention this. I've seen that they're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis. Just so you know, Jamie Lee Curtis is one of the few who is out as an actual hermaphrodite. She was born a hermaphrodite and has outed herself as that. So yes, she does have both. By the way, it is one of those admitted things, unlike the ones that aren't admitted or hidden. That one's out. I just wanted to let you know.
I trust none of it. None of it.
Oh, I'm
I
good.
don't even trust some things I've seen before my eyes now. Because, working in a public environment for years at car dealerships and stuff, you've seen things sometimes and you would be like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you were a little, and I'm talking about 10 years ago. It just around here, it wasn't something where you saw anybody that would dressed or behaved in that manner and cross dressed or anything like that. And you would see some, and some of them were pretty good. You could hardly tell them. Now that I've seen them, yep.
Well, see, I've been surrounded by that like all my life. So just the fact that it's now a thing to where you're seeing it in public in the Bible Belt is kind of wild. Because look, LA, San Francisco, Las Vegas, those areas, they have reputations. You're gonna run into some fetish type people out on the streets. And of course, we have the pride parades where naked people are swinging stuff in front of children, in front of cops, like it's no big deal. But to have it to where it's just like it's bike weekend, and all of a sudden you got like fetish people up on the street.
Girl.
Like that is pretty wild. I have to admit, I'm a little shocked.
Evidently, I hadn't seen nothing yet because I had shown Shannon some of the imagery I had from one bike week, and I had not partaken in this one. And but there were TikToks about it, and I shared them to Shannon. Girl, you ain't even seen the good stuff yet. Them people got wild, like they was wilding out everywhere. It was crazy, but anyway, like yeah, it's I've seen a lot of things that you're not used to seeing, and we're seeing. I don't know. It's just like people seem to be more open with all of that. Like I don't know. I don't know.
When, biblically speaking, scriptural wise, it's all inverted in the end times. Good will be evil and evil will be good. And that's literally what we are seeing in front of our eyes on an absolute daily basis right now. I mean, the fact of the matter that, several years ago, even in the Bible Belt, there was all that controversy of the Baphomet statue being placed right next to the Ten Commandments statue. It's over time, it's what's happened. Everyone's been conditioned to accept these things as good, and they're absolutely evil. And it blows my mind because at the time that Satan's hemorrhoids files have finally been released and out there now, when people are understanding the depravity of what runs our world, they are now going, well, so is it okay for us now to be like that, instead of the shock value, which is exactly what I have been warning about for so long. It's the conditioning process.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of mass, executions, which I wouldn't condone in a one way, but you would think the mob of people would be absolutely disgusted and revolted and ask, where the guillotines are for the for the elitists. But no, instead you're getting more and more people involving themselves in that behavior out in the open.
Yeah, it's different these days. Like I've never understood why there doesn't seem to be more like outrage about what's going on with the children.
That's what I'm saying. I do not get this. And you know what? See, as somebody who's been shouting out at the top of her lungs for 13 years on every platform I have ever been on, even when I was on social media, it's like people got upset with me for pointing this out. Everybody wanted to say, no, you're wrong. Oh, I fact checked you. You're wrong. But now that it's here, it's in your face. Where is your outrage? Why are you not sticking up for these children? What is wrong with you people? Not you, not our audience, but for real, I don't understand. That just enrages me more than anything. These precious children.
They are blind. They are non-participating characters. That's the way that the dark side has won. You don't have to pull them onto your team. You just got to distract them enough that they're not on either one. See? And that's where you win them at.
I just absolutely cannot fathom how anybody could look into the eyes of a little baby and not melt and not want to do anything and everything in their power to protect that beautiful, innocent child. I cannot fathom it. Like, it is just not in me at all. At all.
I'm trying not to get worked up. I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. Like I'm gonna try to take care of mine, yours, the neighbors, strangers. It don't matter. A child's a child. A child is a child and should be allowed a childhood. They should not be traumatized by dysfunction and craziness and people that can't keep their hands to themselves. And we got to draw a line somewhere.
They wanted you to read those files. They wanted you guys to accept this. They eventually will tell you you cannot buy or sell or participate in our system unless you're willing to cannibalize your child. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
This is for real.
They've desensitized everybody with the movies that we've seen over the years. That was to push your morality, to push your boundaries, to see how far they could go before you turn the channel. And that like okay, when I was a teenager, at one point we didn't have cable television. We had when I was little, I'd say elementary school, we had a TV with like rabbit ears antenna. You got like three or four channels: ABC, CBS, NBC, and maybe PBS or something. As I got a little bit older, we actually got basic cable. You had about 20 channels, but there were certain things that you watched. You watched what was available, and once they started being able to collect that data off of that box so well about what you were watching, how you were watching it, which one got you to watch longer, once they got all those metrics, then they started socially engineering the movies and television shows to feed your dopamine and your serotonin and adjust your attitude, your morality, everything. Everything.
Before all this explosion stuff, got really hot on my radar, I was down a rabbit hole, even though I don't want to say it like that, but it's how everyone knows. But I was really looking into Project Looking Glass, and it's interesting because we've talked about Stranger Things, and we know that was based off of what everyone knows of as the Montauk Project. But the Montauk Project wasn't its own entity. The Montauk facility was really just a smaller faction of the entire program of the Looking Glass Project. So, in essence, the Looking Glass Project is all about, I wouldn't necessarily say time travel as much as being able to view time in any capacity with other things involved. Um, Stranger Things actually does a really good job of kind of giving you an idea of more of the full spectrum of Project Looking Glass. But the reason why I was so obsessed in looking into this is over all these years, once I found out 13 years ago that, I was in some kind of a program, of some sort, militarily wise. And in my experience of trying to understand it, I've been in a lot of prayer. Just what program was it that I was in? What things did I experience? Were there any other people who went through this? And I had heard of Project Looking Glass before I came to Jesus, but it had been put back into my radar in the last several months. And it does turn out that I 100% can say I was a part of that program in the 1980s and 1990s at Norton Air Force Base in San Bernardino, California. And so all of the stuff that I've been looking into with all of this has a lot of relevance to the stuff that's going on today, why these scientists had been missing, and what they're showing you in our faces with things like Stranger Things and whatnot. Because we're about to embark on a time where the upside down, or biblically speaking, the bottomless pit is about to merge upon this earth. And so I just think it's a very interesting subject matter to look into. If anyone is interested who might think they may have been part of a program, because it turns out that the kids like me who were in these programs were taken from the Gateway programs. So if you were involved in Gateway and as a child, you more than likely were a part of one of these big projects. And I've been on a mission to understand my story, but I know there are different programs and different military facilities that work with different projects when it comes to kids. So any of you guys who are in Gateway or were involved in Mall World, have had experiences in Mall World, all of these things, that actually all ties in to the Looking Glass project. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit because I've been really fascinated with it. And it's very interesting to have closure on some of the things in my childhood, and I just encourage just everyone who is in the Gateway program to come face to face with some things.
I think the thing that disturbed me the most about it when I started seeing stuff and it caused me to start thinking about it was that I couldn't remember any of it. And I'm sorry. I have no problem remembering anything else. I can tell you about it, things that happened in the third grade, fourth grade in my classroom. But if this was supposed to be some exceptional class where we done all these fantastic things because we were advanced, why do none of us don't remember it? Like we remember the beginning, and I'm telling you, it almost feels like when you first start trying to pull that memory, you feel like that you've been hit with the blinky light out of Men in Black. It takes a minute to dig it back open. It's there. You'll get bits and pieces, but somebody locked it away in there for some reason. There was a reason.
Well,
What was
I
it?
discovered too that generationally it, it continues. My father was a part of the same project, but when the Navy had it, the Navy was in charge of this particular project, I think since the 40s. It has been around. And they had it from at least the 40s up until the 60s. And then the 60s, the Air Force took over the program. And they had it up from the 60s to the 90s. When that shut down, when the program supposedly shut down. I mean, it's probably called something else now. It's probably under a different name, but that was in the late 90s. And ironically, Norton Air Force Base shuts down and becomes an international airport owned by the UN, right? That only
Mhm.
has flights to Utah, Las Vegas, our area here in San Bernardino, and Simi Valley slash San Francisco, where all the big tech is.
Mhm.
That's a little interesting if you ask me, but I'm just saying.
Is quite interesting.
But my dad was definitely part of it. I know my mom was in another program. She was in Gateway. I mean, she knows German and doesn't know how. She can't speak it, but she hears it sometimes and can understand it. And it's interesting because in 57 up until like the late 60s during the whole Cold War thing, a lot of the people in Gateway still have paperwork of encoding Russian and German stuff and learning the language. So, again, this is a cyclical thing. Our family members were part of these things. It's not that, because it's genetics and bloodlines that they're looking for in these programs because of certain abilities. That's why we ended up in Gateway. So, of course, our parents were definitely part of that because we share genetics. So, yeah, thought that was
Yeah, I agree with Daniel on my experience with Gate here. The first thing when I go back and and I remembered, and I went to this like every year that it was available up until I was aging out. But I remember like a couple of days we done these special projects, but they were outside. But I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, but out of all the days I went, and you feel like you remember going in the room, you remember doing the little swishy thing, and you remember the hearing test. And then it's kind of a blinky light. And then I don't know if anything would have been remembered after that until maybe the next day. The next day, I was having anxiety attacks after like year, on my second year in the program. I would go to my class on Thursday, and Friday morning when I got back to my regular class, it was causing an anxiety attack. So I was told
weird.
that's what it was. But something was going on. And I don't remember what happened on Thursday. So why was I freaked out on Friday? Because my body was doing it. My mind didn't remember anything. I don't
Well,
know.
I don't know about you, but I used to pretend I was sick as much as I possibly could to get out of school. I mean, I'd be in it and I'd go, but after a certain point in the day, I was like, "Oh no, I need to go home," and I didn't know why, but I would just be like, "No, I'm gonna fake I'm sick." And get all dramatic. My one fifth grade teacher was like, "Oh, Shannon, you're so dramatic. You're gonna be such a great actress someday." Because
Well,
I'd go up and I was trying to get out of school. It wasn't comfortable. I didn't want to be there. I knew something was wrong.
and my question becomes, so if the quantity of kids that went through that program, where are they now? Where is everybody at now? You know what I mean? Like, there was some goal in there. Because when I go back and I look at the Project Looking Glass, like release documents,
Uh-huh.
and then you hear tales about other things and stories of all of this. And supposedly, when it was first tested, the younger the soldier was that went through, the less breakable their mind was.
Right.
Which tells you that before a child kind of hits, teenager years, the world is not set as a positive perceived future. It's still open for interpretation in a young mind
Mhm.
because they don't have the wisdom of knowledge, so to speak.
Girl, you know how I said that the gateway stuff started in preschool for me?
Mm-hmm.
The preschool facility was across the street from the building.
Really.
Yes. So think of all the access to all the children they have right there. Right there.
Mhm.
5 years old.
Sometimes you sit back when you're
4 years.
ha-
3, 4 years old.
when you're having one of those deep thought sessions, and I wonder, because I wonder, what were you trying to find? What was the purpose? What was the true purpose of what you were doing? Were you looking for super soldiers? Were you looking for somebody that could be a possible threat? Were you looking for particular skills? Were you building an X-Men team? You know what I mean? Like, I got questions because I know this weren't just some straight up class to make us better human beings. Like, I'm sorry, but I just don't pick that out to be a big goal in the education system.
Well, see, I feel like this goes back to the Black Awakening program. This is something that Russ Dizdar, for any of you who don't know what the Black Awakening program is, but Russ Dizdar, who has passed away, a few years ago, I think during COVID, um, he had done a lot of boots on the ground research, the horse's mouths, so to speak, on what the end goal was for a lot of these, MK situations and the Satanic Temple and all of that stuff, because it's all integrated. And it's interesting because Heinrich Himmler, he's the one who started this program to begin with. He was given visions and dreams of how he needed to start a you know a black soldier program through the next couple generations for the end times. And by the time the end happens, these people are just going to click. They're just going to know what their job is and what to do
Jason
in the
Bourne.
situation. Exactly.
Yeah.
So since World War II, we've been in this cycle where the bad guys, the evil ones, are building their super soldiers, their black awakening soldiers through generational trauma and abuse and programming. So that's the purpose behind a lot of this. I mean, yes, they're trying to manipulate things. There's the transhuman agenda. I mean, when it comes to Project Looking Glass, there is AI involvement, right? But I know for a fact I was speaking to a demonic entity, but I was told it was an alien as a child. I know it was a demon. I know they were demonic creatures now. Like, I know 100%. But, these projects have ritual elements to it. It's not just tech stuff. It's not just a scientific base. They integrate ritualistic things along with it. There is a darker spiritual purpose to it.
I'm telling you guys, if you've not watched the show Supernatural, you should. You should. If you're interested in what those creatures, if you try to square it down to a real world concept, that'll give you a perspective to see from. I see that show differently now than I used to. And they're among us, and it's a war, and you gotta be as positive as you can, even on a rainy day.
Oh my gosh, that just reminds me. I'm sorry.
What?
We're going to not to be doom and gloom. And I did tell you, I was like, I'm gonna try. This is me trying. I'm sorry. I'm like,
No, girl, it's all right. I mean, it is what it is. It's Sunday social. We have to. I know we all like to giggle, and we can giggle now, but there's a lot of serious stuff going on in the world, and we don't want to make light of it, but we don't want to make. You have to remember, do not be afraid. And that is repeated over and over and over in every version of those books.
Is it, you know, and look, it's hard being a woman sometimes in this age range when handling
Ain't it?
information sometimes. So
Girl, I am right there with you.
okay,
And we are in full on, and the Schumann residence probably isn't helping.
you know, we
This,
have a lot working against us. So
ain't it?
I'm a little dramatic. Please excuse me.
Welcome to Sunday Social, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good night. There's a good crowd in the house. Everybody's talking. Maybe they were looking for attributes to their own bloodline. I think bloodline's got a lot to do with it. I think
100%.
and I think the technology was catching up with the ability to find those they were looking for. And I don't know. I think if you go backwards on those bloodlines, I don't know. I just wonder because now Shannon and I narrowed down some towns where it appeared that there seemed to be a lot of like B-list actors and athletes that come out of these towns that end up in, like a lot of those sports activities with 3 letters that make $1 contract signatures. And, I don't know, just a lot of weird things, and you never know. I'm assuming everybody has seen that video of that dude on the news, and you could see his neck mask was loose.
Yeah. Oh, gross.
Do we think that was AI or was it real? Because I wouldn't let it get me pulled in the other day.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know. It could be any of it. Because again, why are they letting us see it? This is why I always ask that question. Why are they allowing us to see this? There's a reason. And you know what? So 20 minutes ago, okay, this is a WTF is going on moment. LA County Fire is battling a massive 2-alarm industrial fire in the city of Industry in Southgate right now. What is going on? What is going on? More industrial fires. Okay, I'm over it. I'm like, wow.
Let's see. Let's go to Google. I'm not good at watching the news because I try to, you know what I mean, to see what's being shown, and maybe I am bad at that, but I'm very selective about what I watch. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, guys. I'm yawning. Let's see. National news headlines. Let's see what comes up.
Yeah, like this
I don't know.
just happened. It just happened. So I don't know. But it's just again bizarre because it's in an industrial area. So more facilities, manufacturing facilities are being taken out. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're at war, guys. Come on. There is no getting around it anymore. This is an attack. This is not just like, oh, oops. All of a sudden, all of your facilities are going to blow up and are on fire and blah, blah. No. I call absolute shenanigans.
Shenanigans, not the shenanigans.
Right.
I have a dry spot in my throat. Be right back.
No problem. Oh, anyways. I'm like, I'm kind of,
Oh yeah, and some dude like tried to shoot up the White House
yeah, all at the same time.
after Trump rushed back to the White House for some reason. And there was some kind of security breach over the weekend of like credit card systems went down for a while or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just been a lot of stuff going on. Shenanigans, yeah. Whole lot of distraction going on. And I'm sure that there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Well, here it is again. This is a high ritual holiday weekend. So, you know what? As believers in Jesus Christ, this is where we get to do something. We get to be in prayer because prayer literally works. And I believe the more of us that are praying for this, the less impact we will see. I know a lot of these things have to occur. It is written, we're in those times, but I know that we have a merciful and loving God. Our Father in heaven is beyond, just beyond mercy when you are a repentant heart. And our prayers are like pure gold, pure love to the Most High. And the more of us who come together in prayer for the safety and well-being of his children, I know he'll hear and he'll lessen the blow. So let's just do the best we can to take some stuff into our own hands, roll up our sleeves, get to work, get in your prayer closets.
Get real specific and get a little loud. Like put some emotion into it. Emotion is energy, energy is power. Put that power forth in your prayer. Every action has a reaction. What you put out, you get back. Put out positive.
I
Like,
know we're going to be okay. Like, I know it. But I just, it's important to be prepared. Get your lamps oiled up so you don't miss the bridegroom, man. He's going to come before you know it.
yep, yep, Dorothy, we ain't in Kansas no more. We not in Kansas no more, boo boo. I'm putting my hair up in a ponytail right now, like I'm fixing to go Mad Max style. It just, I should have been more athletic at this age. I'm gonna have trouble. I'm gonna need a motorized vehicle if I gotta go very fast. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no. I try so hard to avoid those. But every now and then I gotta take one for the teens. Okay.
Oh no, I'm talking about like a Jeep or an
Oh,
ATV. Like I'm not
okay.
running. I'm not running.
I was talking about the little go karts, that you have at the
No, no, I'm
grocery
talking about Mad
store.
Max style. I'm gonna need a motorized vehicle.
You're
Mm-mm.
talking like full on. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, something,
Other
something,
little
something
disabled
wicked this
vehicles
weekend.
that doesn't, cool people get to ride.
Absolutely. We're the cool kids over here on our bean bags. I'm trying to read the verse the remote viewer put up.
Okay, look, I'm gonna get this is, please, Lord Jesus, forgive me right now, but I have to share this. I have to ride those little go karts at the grocery store, okay, when I have a lot that I have to get. I can't push a cart very easily. It's not something I care to talk about much. But when I have to get on them, I am not like a 500-pound person. Okay. So they apparently have like weight sensors on these things. So my tiny little person is constantly being stopped on this thing because I'm not really a big person. And
They
most of
think
the
a child's playing with it.
right. But most of the people who have to use those things are in like the 400, 500 pound range. And so I get the weirdest looks until I, have to shake my cane at them. Like, yeah, I actually do need this thing. Okay. I'm not taking away your lazy machine for nothing.
What is their
I just
people
please
judging
God
people? What business is it of theirs?
forgive me. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just
But let me tell you,
let us disabled and little old ladies or people who actually need them use them, and it's okay for you to walk. It's okay. It's all
no girl, let me tell you, when I was in California, if they'd have been a scooter on the Laguna Beach day, I'd have been on it. I'd have been on it because I'm telling you, sitting on that airplane that long, it messed my back up. I was dying that day we went to the beach.
you know how annoying
Short bus.
the short bus. Yeah. Yeah, I avoid the scooters because I'm not heavy enough for them. Apparently, they're a pain in my
Yeah.
butt.
Don't worry about what it could. That's one thing. It causes so much anxiety to worry about what other people think.
Oh yeah.
As long as your own moral compass is where it's supposed to be, and a lot of that is intention and free will, and your connection and prayer, and just being a good human being. I don't know. Just don't worry about what people think.
Right. And trust me, I'm not downing anybody in any size whatsoever. It's just a problem here in specifically Southern California. I don't know about anywhere else, but we just have a lazy problem, and it's
What movie
so bad.
is it? Oh my gosh, what cartoon movie is it where something happens
Uh,
on Earth?
we're yes, you're. What is it? It's
Oh,
Evie or no? What is it? Yeah, it's
I'm
just
looking.
oh, and then again, isn't this kind of like the whole supernatural storyline, like what the Leviathan is doing, like trying to get people fat and lazy, yeah,
Yep,
like it's a
Wally.
purposeful thing. Wally, that's it. Yeah, yeah. Which is really sad, but there's a whole like fan you know, what do you call it? Iceberg kind of thing that goes along with that movie. And it actually, you can trace it back to see that they're actually consuming the dead in those drinks. Because
Mm,
the thing is they consume all of their food in these big giant drinks and they just sit around and play on their screens all day, even though their friend is right next to them. They're talking to them on their screens, and that's all they do all day and sip on their drinks. Well, it's another Soylent Green kind of situation going on in this animated film by the mouse, by the way. So a mouse film.
hmm
So
I'm not playing the sound, but it's
and
playing the
again,
video.
I am not downing anybody in their weight. Let me tell you, I have been literally considered obese, and I have literally been told I need to eat a sandwich. I have been at all extremes. I am not one to judge in any way, shape, or form. And healthy is the key. It's just, there's an agenda. I'm here to point out the agenda. And people really took on to the agenda out here. Okay.
hmm
That's the
Well,
thing.
and the whole just, I don't know, everybody's so zoned out. And if they're not zoned out like that, they're caught up in the rat race, which is evidently the speed of is picking up. Because, like, and this is the thing, I think it was Daniel that sent us. Was it him or was it you about the population? Like the actual world's population would
Daniel.
fit in the state of Texas?
Oh yeah, Daniel did. Hmm.
Yeah. Like they make it. I don't know. The world seems a whole lot more crowded than that to me.
Well, that's we're not speaking of NPCs though, right? Because I mean, sure they may count that in the numbers, but I wouldn't consider them people with the soul. So, how many souls do we have on this planet right now?
I don't know.
Because that's the key.
Mm, I agree with you. The math ain't mathing.
Yeah, make it make sense.
Yeah, make it make sense. Yeah, the math ain't mathing. And like, I don't know. And maybe I feel, I don't know. I've been very used to for a long time living in a small town. And all of a sudden, we just seem to have been completely consumed with new people moving in here. And most of them come from the Northeast. So, who's in the Northeast right now? Okay, this is a thought process that come to me earlier. The dude in the Jeep today kind of really irritated me when he come around me. I wasn't going under the speed limit, I was doing the speed limit. What the moron didn't know when he was behind me and he was acting antsy, I was trying to keep him from getting a ticket because I knew good and well that there was two state trooper on the motorcycles at the church that was coming up. And if he comes zooming around me, he was gonna get pulled over. So you know what I mean? I had my crew set. I was rolling on. I know they was there. You do you, boo boo, but I'm not speeding up. So when we finally get to the edge of town where you have to speed down to 30, he comes zooming around me and aggressively got in front of me. And he went on up and I pulled up at the red light and just eased right up behind him. And I thought to myself, I'm like, see, all that. And we ended up here at the same time. But it just seemed like everybody around me is just in a hurry. And there's so many people everywhere and there's nowhere to park.
Well, FYI to all of everyone, if there are flock systems in your area, they are now taking pictures and data of everything you do, and they can just send you a ticket for whatever they want. They can come to your house and say, hey, we've got this data, even if it isn't accurate. Say, you know, this one dude has a warrant on the truck that he owns. It's not his warrant, but the truck owner before him had it, and it's still in the system, and they can't get it out of the system. So he is nonstop harassed. So just know that, you're being surveilled to the point to where back in the day, sure, we could do some stuff, stupid or not, and get away with it. That's not the case so much anymore. So,
Well,
FYI.
let me show you something that happened. Does everybody know that? Well, everybody probably in this group knows what Knight Rider was, the television show. We all
I
know what it
got
was.
to see Kit. I sat in Kit. You don't
Okay.
understand. Kit came to my school when I was in Holy Rosary Elementary School, first or second grade. Oh, I got to see Kit. Sorry. That was one of my favorite moments. I was obsessed with
All
that.
right.
Okay.
This is a kit replica, which is sitting in a museum. This is a showpiece car. Um, right. It got a ticket from a camera that said it was riding down a highway, which is impossible. It's locked up in a museum. This is put here for a point, and let me give you, because I've been trying to pull the psyop out of this. They tend to use things to bring attention to certain generations. If this had been any random Joe Blow's Corvette got a ticket, blah blah blah, it would not have made the news. It wouldn't have called attention. But it's Knight Rider. You know what I'm saying? Like, Knight Rider got a ticket off of a flock camera when it's locked up in a museum. So did somebody insert that image into the flock system on purpose to show you how corruptible it might be.
Wow, girl.
Girl, I didn't pick that one apart. If that had been any Joe Blow's Corvette from a museum somewhere that got that ticket, it would have never even caught the radar.
Yeah, but Kit, dude, come
It's
on.
Knight Rider.
That's
Knight
not
Rider.
liar.
Knight Rider is so bad booty that it got a
Right?
ticket while it was
Oh
sitting
my
still in a museum.
dude.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Yep. That has a purpose. Was that to show you how corruptible that system is, that somebody inserted that and caused that to trigger?
That's wild.
That's the only thing I could think. And maybe I shouldn't be having that thought out loud, but I
Oh
sure
no,
did think it.
have it out loud.
That's the way my brain works.
See, whatever. We at least have a small cloak with our thumbnail today. So whatever. I've been bold. I've been so bold today. I said places out loud. I said things out loud. I probably shouldn't have. You know what? I don't care. Because the more bold I am, I know I am more protected by Jesus Christ. Thank you very much.
Amen. I don't know that whole thing. I've noticed a few and the reason this caught my eye with the whole Knight Rider thing is our generation that watched Knight Rider are the generation that's kind of paying attention to, you know what I mean? They're the more awake and a little more, they're a little more here, got a little more backbone. They're Generation X is a different generation, and the ones that come directly behind us, different people. We were raised different way. We were pre-Google. Pre-Google means something now. Um, I was reading a text message.
Oh, wow.
The whole use of Knight Rider in this is important because it triggers your interest because it's something from your childhood. As far as precognition programming, awareness. Just saying. Hey Joe.
Okay.
What?
Okay. About go for it for a second. Give me like a minute in silence.
Oh, you're good. I was reading a text message we had. What are you saying, Biggie? Hey Joe, got to blow. I'd love to talk, but got to go. What movie is that from? It's got to be a movie quote. I don't know. I've seen a few things that was it actually what you were looking at, or was it something that you were supposed to see from what you were looking at? Like it caught your attention because it was that's what caught my attention was Knight Rider. No,
Did
I
you
think that's
see
just the
what
lighting, Diana.
did you see what I just sent you?
Uh,
I'm
Holy bananas.
floored. I am floored right now. Disneyland, you are wild. They are lighting, they are doing their fireworks shows. They are I can't. You know what?
Within a
Go ahead.
5-mile radius.
Go ahead, mouse. Go ahead. Do it. Just see what happens. We'll see. This will be interesting. Wow, that's some cojones. That's like, are you trying? You're trying. You're trying.
I got you.
Is the mouse in cahoots with the crack rock?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure. I think that's an actual replica of Knight Rider, but no, Knight Rider was black. It was smut black. Smut black.
I
But
sat
see,
in that
that's the thing. The card that's in this thing right here. Time I look at it, it tells me that looks like it's been doctored. That just, I don't know. That or they got a bandit riding around with a tag like that for just giggles.
there's, you know, there's probably some more code that goes with it too. There's got to be, like, what? I'm trying to remember like the actual premise of like the full basic, summarization of the show, like what it was about. It's been a long time since I've
What,
seen
Knight
it.
Rider?
Yeah, I know I was obsessed with
Oh
it. I
no,
was really
he
little.
was oh, he was
Like, was
supposed to
he
be
an
like this secret
investigator?
agent kind of
Secret
deal.
agent. That's what it was. That's what I needed to be reminded of. I knew he
Yeah,
was
he was like
for a reason.
he was to me he was supposed to be the cheesy American version of James Bond.
Yeah. Freaking David Hasselhoff. Oh my god.
See, that's the cheesy American version of James Bond.
Oh man.
Him and his special car that had all these tricks. And I'm gonna tell you, a very dear friend of mine had one of those cars, and we used to drive the Smanolis out of that thing. But yeah, I like Knight Rider. But David Hasselhoff, he kind of give me the creepy vibe. I didn't never. Mm-mm.
Mouse loves cheese, and cheese pizza is code for ... I mean, what? There was even a Chuck E. Cheese. Thanks for reminding us of
I
Chuck E.
continue to notice that the quantity of public arrest for child-related crimes, especially of officials in charge in my state, have increased rapidly. Like, I don't know if anybody else is paying attention to that, but the quantity of arrest of like officials involved in that have increased in my state a good bit in South Carolina. And I don't know. I don't know if that's a national trend. I know a year ago we were given a spreadsheet that appeared to have criminal case numbers by state, but they showed futuristic court appearances. Like, I don't know. It was like, are you there, Shanna?
Uh-huh.
I heard that sound like he's whispering, but I don't know if that's correlated. I haven't been back and looked at it. I don't even remember where it was at, but I do know like the arrest in that department have increased. Let's see if I can find that. So they're going to shoot fireworks at Disney tonight, which is 5 miles from a possible chemical leak, which is under heated pressure and is very likely explosive.
I just what where are the brain who is in charge? Who does the fireworks show? Who's that manager?
Well, I'm gonna lead.
Are they going to be fired today?
Hang on a second. I'm gonna lead you back in the correct direction. Your governor is in charge of a situation of this magnitude.
Oh, I know, and that's the worst. He's the worst. He's Patrick Bateman. Think of all the children that are in Disneyland right now. This is just not okay. It's not okay.
Well, and for anybody who hasn't visited Disneyland or Disney World, when you get there, there is no outside world. Like, you're not sitting down at night watching the local news for the area in which you're in. They make sure to keep you tuned in the whole time because it's like free Disney movies. You just get to watch them and watch them and watch them. And it's the whole world seems to be cut off when they tell you it's its own little world. And you got people down there from all over the country that have no idea that this is going on unless by chance their cellular phone happens to be picking up some local news on a TikTok feed. So these people are pretty much blind. They're tourists. They have no idea what's going on and they're not watching. They don't know to be watching.
I know.
That's what concerns me.
Responsibility. Freaking
Sorry, I think the level of awareness in a tourist area needs to be accounted for when you're making calculations like these. And I know you can't incite panic with this, but yeah, they're open, Diana. They're fixing to have a fireworks show tonight.
Common sense, dude. That's you're. I just when it. I have been a business owner, and I know that there is heavier responsibility for the safety of your patrons, and just the thought of how many patrons are in this establishment that are literally in a ticking time bomb is just
Let's see.
blows my mind. I can't. I mean, just to err on the side of precaution, because the amount of backlash financially, even Disney, what the heck? What are you thinking? Not
Disneyland, California averages approximately 47 to 51,000 visitors per day if you include the sister park. The entire Anaheim Resort Complex draws an estimated 75 to 80,000 guests on an average daily basis.
And there's the convention center right next door, and
Mm-hmm.
many other businesses right there. And it's just wow. To me, again, just the sheer amount of negligence on corporates and is just wild to me, because I just can't even imagine. I'm kind of speechless right now. I think the flames have reached a point in my face where they're hitting the ceiling.
Well, they classify, let's see.
It just all I can think about is how many children are there. I mean, even if Disneyland itself doesn't blow up, the toxic chemicals that these children are going to be exposed to is the negligence of this.
Well, see, and that's the bad thing about any major incident happening on a large tourism holiday where people travel away from home. Because when you travel away from your home area, you're unaware of your surroundings, what's going on. You're so preoccupied with your new daily routine that you don't even see things that are coming at you because you're just not aware of them. It's not due to lack of awareness, it's change of environment and schedule. And
See,
I don't
well,
know.
at least Knott's Berry Farm listened. You know, they're a private owned place. They've always been a small mom and pop kind of thing. They started as an actual farm. And I'm glad that they've listened. They were smart. I've always liked Knott's Berry Farm. I worked for them. So, kudos to you, Knott's. You listened. You're smart. We like you.
Let's see. Things to do. Well, you got when you're talking about what's over there, I mean, you got everything over there. You got Disney, you got Hollywood, you got Knott's Berry Farm, you got beautiful beaches.
You also have medieval times right there, and Ripley's Believe It or Not museum, the Wax Museum.
It's a tourism based area. All that stuff is.
The pirate show. Yep.
Yeah, see, we got all of those. We just don't have Disneyland here. We had an Air Force base. I thought they were going to convert it into a Disneyland type thing one time, and they didn't. They ended up turning it into, I don't know, it's its own little town in there that they kind of created with new apartments and stuff. But yeah, that's just crazy to me that the awareness is not, I don't think it's being put out there enough. about the risk of what could be happening. I'd like to know how you calculate what kind of explosion that's going to be, because they're saying they've never dealt with this before. Well, to be sure, on a chemical level, somebody somewhere knows what the explosive, like, so to speak, if you were talking about, the kiloton, or whatever it is. Is it a small explosion? Does it just make foam? Is it gonna, you know what I mean? Is it just gonna be aerosolized? Is it gonna knock a hole in the earth?
Well,
A
yeah,
little more detail. Stop insulting our damn intelligence and tell us what's going on.
exactly. And again, they are not telling any of us on like anything about the chain reaction of all the extra that's going to be affected and will blow up when that explosion happens. It is literally right next to a much bigger tank. And then we got the surrounding manufacturing facilities right there. So that chain effect is going to cause a bigger problem than just the one reactor. Okay, I'm just saying. So why are they showing us this bull crap map of what they're saying this explosion is going to do when you obviously don't know and are accounting for anything else than this one thing going off?
Here we go. I got a pretty good map of the area pulled up. Hang on. Let me take chat off the screen. All right, right here. This is where the chemical incident is currently ongoing. If you look right up here to your right, there's Disneyland.
Right there. So again, the boot, right? You can actually kind of see the outline just right here. It goes up to the Ball Road, down here to the freeway, um, in the chemical
Right
area,
here.
right? But again, since Disneyland is like, right around there, I find it very interesting that it is not centered in this evacuation center.
Yeah, it's leaning more to the left.
It is literally like, no, that extra little bit should still be added on because again, nature, right? It's not
Hmm.
it's not going to blow up in a boot shape. It's going to blow up in a big giant disc shape
Okay, hang
toroidal
on, hang on.
field. It's gonna
The
blast
reaction
out.
would be exothermic, means generate heat while the reaction goes on. Run away.
Oh dear. See, and that's what I'm saying. Generates heat. So then, right in that blast zone, it's going to be extremely hot. And we have Disneyland about to pop off some fireworks here in the next couple hours. Wow. It's just so smart. Let me tell you.
I'm looking. I'm trying to get a good visual.
Never in a million years have I ever thought I would have to think about even this kind of a scenario in my mind with that many children nearby like that.
But how great, what is the quantity or extent of that exothermic reaction, Diana? Like, we talking, that's a good sized chemical holding tank. Are we talking about a fireball that's a block wide, that's going to cause enough heat that's going to cause any natural gas lines to blow off? I
God.
mean, we got to think about surrounding combustibles when we're thinking about this. That's what I'm thinking about. Like, is this just going to be a great intense like heat flash, or is it going to be spark flame flash? Maybe that's my question.
And two, this is another thought. You know, we we have the El Nino coming in And it's supposed to be extremely intense this year. That means high winds, which we've already been warned by our electric companies all throughout California that they're
Mhm.
going to randomly shut us off during high winds because of fires. And we have tons of fires that happen. And we have a bunch of fires going off right now. Not even just in LA, but there's a ton of them going on right now. So when the winds pick up with all this situation and all these chemicals in the air, how much of Southern California is going to be affected? And again, in my area, I'm only 45 minutes away from Garden Grove. So that's, the implications are kind of massive for a lot of us down here. There's so much more that's going to happen from this. And it's like, when you think about the train situation that happened in Ohio a while back ago, and the the whole situation of the air quality and all the toxic stuff and just what a mess that was. And even their situation, their evacuation stuff was ridiculous. There were a lot of people who should have been evacuated that weren't because of the air quality. All these things are going to have huge effects on people out here. So just keep us in your prayers, man. Just keep us in your prayers.
Okay,
We're already
Diane.
fighting respiratory issues.
All right. We got I knew we had people in this audience that had chemical experience, so we have an answer. Um it would be a heat explosion. Um and it could be, let's see. Let me go back. I'm reading Diana's comments. Hang on.
Yeah, see what Diana just said right now. That's super not good. That'll become like a bomb if not controlled. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a chain reaction scenario that they are not telling the public. I mean, they are putting thousands of people in these evacuation zones or whatever, these places that are not even that far from where they're evacuated from. Just a couple miles. That's not safe.
I don't know. It does distress me.
I just
And it in a pressurized tank, and it's a flammable, so I mean you got an extensive fallout, because that's what I think about when I think about not just that one action of, whatever the failure turned out to be. What are going to be the reactions of the atmosphere and other ignitables or propane or natural gas if there is an actual physical explosion that knocks gas lines off? Then you've got this big flame ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, this could be a catastrophic kind of event. And I may be wrong, but that's just where my brain goes.
So that is the worst case scenario, right? The second, the only other option that were given was it leaks. So what are the implications of that? I mean, sure, that might be the lesser of the two evils, but in the long run, I mean, that would save a lot of lives in one aspect, you know?
Did you see
But
that?
what in the world? What? You can never stop it. Oh, dear. Okay. Okay. All right. So it's just not good. We I need to say, I guess I kind of need to say my goodbyes in a way to
to a place that I'm very fond of, with a lot of people out there that I really love. So this is a little hard for me right now.
Well, we're going to pray for the best and hope that there's some people out there that are paying attention to see what to I don't know, somebody's got to start pushing these people out, and you don't, and we try to be cautious, not be reactive, but I don't, and we got people sitting in the audience that have chemical experience, and they're talking about that this doesn't look like out anyway but failure. And Diana says an incredible failure. I think they're misreading or underreading the situation.
We're under reading it 100%. I mean, the only good news that has come out so far is that they found a crack and that maybe that could relieve some pressure. Okay, but the outcome still hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. So, I don't know. That's just wild. I mean, I literally, gosh, I take my kids to Not Scary Farm every year, like that's a tradition because I worked it. And I'm just, I'm in,
It's close to home. It's close to home. It's all too extremely real when it seems like it's knocking right next door. And this could be something that's not a tiny thing. Like I said, let's see, pressure isn't the actual problem, it's temperature.
temperature, yeah.
Yeah, they've lost their ability to keep it cool. All this water they've been spraying on it's having no effect.
And what they're not telling us what temperature it is going to reach to where it's critical. They're not saying that. They just are telling
Clayton
us.
says it detonates between 2 and 10 degrees Celsius.
What does that mean with the other form of temperature measurement?
Girl, I'm a Fahrenheit kid.
Yeah, I was like, what's Fahrenheit? What's Fahrenheit? Don't make me math. I can't do it.
Don't make me math. I can't do it. We use Fahrenheit here, Clayton. I'm not a Celsius person. That's bad. I should be able to do that math because it's only like 34 degrees or something. Why is my brain locked up? What is it in Fahrenheit? Somebody, come on. Okay, if the pressure is released, that means that the vessel is leaking. Not good either. It's a fire that can't be put out.
Well, if they don't know the chemical reaction that's happening, which they have stated again, and scientists are there, then we don't know. We don't know how volatile that could be, because if they don't even know, then we don't know. It's like
36 degrees Fahrenheit. See, I thought it was that you had to add.
So wait, at 36 degrees Fahrenheit, it'll explode, or just that much over the temperature of what it's supposed to be?
No, that's the flash point.
If it's been at 90, then
no, there's no way.
No way. Why? It's so frustrating that they just lie to your face and don't let you think for yourself.
Hang on, chemical leak. Let me put in temperature and see what I get. Okay, she says, so if that's true at that temperature, the vessel should be jacketed and cooled. Oh my God, the word vessel, like that word come up so much to me last week. Like the word vessel over and over and over and over again. Oh my goodness! And I've been having a dream about flying over a coast, and all I could see was two red stacks from a chemical plant.
What? You didn't tell me this.
Oh, oh.
Explain, Lucy. Explain.
I keep having this dream about. It's like I'm kind of Peter Pan style, I guess you'd say.
Right?
And as I'm Peter Panning it, all I can see is like this concrete rubble of where there's just been some kind of massive kaboom. But there's these two red stacks sticking up that just kind of signifies to me like it was a manufacturing plant or something. But it's like this massive just flatness, and out in the distance as I'm Peter Pan styling, I can see the water, the ocean on my left. And then I wake up. And I had it several times.
What the French toast? And why have you not told me this? This is like literally happening right now.
I don't like to speak on things like that. I'm scared to.
Well, you better tell me, girl.
I
Yeah.
told somebody in the group, I think I was talking to, that I was, it might have been Daniel, I'm not sure, but like I couldn't, and it probably was him because we were talking about, like, astral projection or Peter Pan dreams because I had,
Peter Pan. Hello, Disney.
mm-hmm. See, I have, when I have dreams, I have dreams like Peter Pan style. Like I am a completely separate entity that is viewing a movie fall or happen in front of me when I have a dream. It's like I'm watching a movie on TV, but it's kind of Peter Pan style, if that makes sense. The only place I'm not Peter Pan style most times is at the mall world.
Mm, no,
In mall world, I'm actually walking around. Most other dreams, it's kind of like I'm a third party observer, so to speak.
you know what? Now that you bring that up, that is the difference. That is actually the difference.
Yeah.
Mall world, and in that simulated
Mall world, I seem to
virtual
be.
space that we conglomerately made, it's just different.
Yeah, it has some force of gravity to me that I feel like I'm supposed to walk in, but in my other dreams it's like an observer. It's more out of body, so to speak. Not that I don't realize that I'm taking part or viewing the dream, but I'm still seeing it from a third party perspective. Yeah, spectator and invisible. Yeah, it's just kind of like I'm floating around above the trees, just kind of like a dragonfly or something, darting back and forth, watching what's going on. But yet, in my mind's eye, if I'm involved, I can also see that point of view. It's wild. And just saying, it's wild sometimes to be able to switch cameras.
I'm checking Garden Grove's temperature right now because that made a.
Hello, Stace. Yeah, I agree. The spectator and invisible thing. Like, and I've actually felt like I had guides on some of these dreams. When I was having the Peter Pan with the two red smokestacks last week, there was somebody with me, but I couldn't tell you who that was with me. Somebody else was seeing it, but I couldn't tell you if they were my guide or just, like, I don't know how to explain it. There was another, I don't, somebody was with me, but I couldn't tell you. It was like a dream state. Yes, hello to Northwest Ohio.
Garden Grove is about 71 degrees right now, but the wind gusts are up to 12 miles an hour, right?
Yeah.
And the next day, it's also going to be hot. It doesn't cool down until Tuesday.
Okay, Diana, here we go.
No chance of precipitation, but the winds are supposed to be fairly high. And that's kind of part of that's another factor that needs to be added in.
All right, Diana. It says 19 hours ago, the temperature inside the failing tank had risen to 90 degrees, up from 77 the day earlier. Is it possible an explosion can be avoided?
If it is,
Step back from
then it's
Saturday. Temperature's critical.
and it leaks. That's the only other option, they say.
Somehow deal with the dangerous chemical. Oh, I hear the phone going off. We've got something over here. Okay, I'm looking.
Oh wow!
I'm looking at.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia thing that Clayton just sent us, and it's like already updated May 2026. The chemical was involved in a chemical leak incident in Garden Grove, California, leading to mass evacuations. Thanks for the update.
Imagine that. Writing history as it happened.
But even this Wikipedia page is not even really that thorough on the health implications and environmental issues. But
Okay, it says right here the reaction is releasing heat that's going to initiate more reaction to happen, so it cascades. The biggest fear is producing what's known as a thermal runaway reaction, Diana. We know the tank is going into thermal runway, and we're going to pull everybody out of the area, make sure it's safe, and let the tank do what it's going to do. The fact that some liquid in the tank is reacting to become a solid is probably what happened to gum up the valve. The primary solution to resolve the crisis would have been to pump in a neutralizing agent in the problem tank, quenching it and making it no longer explosive. But the valve is clogged up, so there's no way to get the neutralizer in there, inside the tank, nor is there a way to slowly drain the tank of the toxic chemical. Keeping the tank as cool as possible could be a workable approach to prevent an explosion. There remains the possibility the tank will still explode or rupture in a massive leak that could send the chemical foul upwards, up waterways and oceans. Officials have marked a huge evacuation zone from 1 to 3 miles from the tank, affecting an estimated 40,000 residents. It is clear spraying of water on the tank is helping. Now, I've heard another report that said it was not.
right.
Even though the temperature is rising inside, not putting any cool water on would have allowed the tank's interior to rise more quickly. So the main solution right now is keep the tank as cool as possible and buy time. This may be the only option we have to avoid a catastrophe. I'm afraid they're just setting everybody up.
They're freaking lying. Yeah, they're setting it up for a mass casualty event. And again, I just cannot stress enough that this evacuation map is full of it, absolutely full of it. I would not trust it with my life. And anybody in that area, if you were smart, you would get the heck out of Dodge as far away from this area as humanly possible. And I'm praying for all those children and families at Disneyland right now. May they please be safe. May I please be wrong in my logic.
Yeah, I hope there's some savior that we don't know about. That would be fantastic. But I concur that I see it as an erroneous behavior not to evacuate more of an area. Like,
Again, I don't. It's just it's not even centered. It's not even in a circle. It's a boot. Just make it make sense. Somebody.
I don't think you can. Even Scam Newsom can't do that.
Oh gosh. Please, Lord Jesus, can he not be in office anymore? It's just can hey Irene,
Okay.
you really wanted to help us out.
Diana says that flashpoint is for the vapors. So if there's no vapors and it's only a liquid phase, we might have a chance. If it comes leaking out as a liquid, you could put a neutralizer on it, I would assume. Clayton says it sounds bad, like bomb after bomb going off. Yeah, the things around it and whatever type of explosion it is I worry about chain reaction.
I mean, like I said, the best we can pray for right now is that it just leaks instead of exploding. But either way, it's the implications is just ginormous on both ends. And I mean, we're already inundated with so much chemical stuff going on right now. And again, who knows what is going on with this fire in LA with more industrial stuff on fire and in our air. Like everyone knows LA has horrible smog. We're like smog capital, We might as well be right in line with China when it comes to our air pollution here in California. So let's just add some. Why not? Sure. Because we don't like breathing out here, I guess. My sarcasm is on one. I'm sorry.
Well, and when you live in a more populated area like that, there's just more of all the toxicity of everything in the air, and it seems to make the environment toxic. I don't know. Just a lot going on. Just the fallout if that thing goes.
To me that they allowed a chemical plant in that area to begin with. They just like plop it right in the middle of tourist zone. That's wild. I mean, even LA is smarter than that.
I just find it to be a very unique set of events. There was some type of major Microsoft security data breach. Something went wrong. I think it was Friday night. And now we got a chemical plant trying to melt down.
This is the FF we've been waiting for. I know it. It's the FF we've been waiting for. They allowed us to be distracted with the thought of the other building in LA. Let's put our eyes on LA. Let's put our eyes on that building. Not the happiest place on earth where all the children gather. No. It's, don't look over here.
All right, there's your wind and how your wind's traveling.
Like, I mean, this is why the Twin Towers thing was such a big deal, right? Because you're literally in the middle of a jam-packed city full of just thousands upon thousands of people in one little spot. So the casualty count is immense. This is what I'm saying. But on on a whole nother level. Like, just even the whole perspective on what Disneyland means to the American people, or even the world at this point, because how many Disneylands have popped up in other countries, right? This is a hardcore, and I'm not a fan of the mouse. We know how evil the mouse is, but you just think of the attraction of the children, and right now that's what I'm so upset about, is they know how many children and families conglomerate in this little tiny space. And the fact that it is so obvious that Disneyland has no care or accountability for their paying patrons and all those children in their vicinity, they're going to endanger them to that point. That's insane. It's absolutely insane. Like, if y'all didn't like the mouse to begin with, I encourage the dislike. Okay.
Your displeasure with the situation. I was over here trying to get the wind speed. The wind speed, Clayton, look, it's coming in off the ocean, going through there, looking like probably 5 to 10 miles an hour is the wind speed. 10 meters above ground is what it says. Diana says she's going to look into this. They just had a, well, happy birthday to James's dad, who is 99 years old. That is amazing.
That is so cool.
That is very cool.
It's the time of birthdays, you know. It's the end of spring and lovely.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to keep an eye on this situation, everybody. I don't see how it can not go bad. We hope and pray for the best, but we need to prepare for the worst, because one way or the other, that's gonna have to resolve itself. And at the rate they're having a temperature increase, constantly spraying it, and still had uh, what is that, a 13-degree temperature increase overnight. It's going up. He's 99 years young, actually. Absolutely. Getting younger every day. Get healthier every day. I try to tell myself that every morning. I'm healthier today than I was yesterday. I can run faster today than I could yesterday. I just keep telling myself how much better I am every day today than I was yesterday.
I've been totally trying to do that blessings thing as much as I can. Oh, I'll think of my blessings.
Yes, I have spent a lot of time in gratitude this weekend, trying to stave off other emotions. But it's all good. He's a Benjamin Button. He's a Benjamin Button. He's seen some things, Diana. I'm sure he's seen some pretty amazing things in his lifetime. Because if he's 99, he would have been about my. See, what is 99? He was born in 1925 or 1927. 1927. My granddad was born in 29. He passed some years back, but them fellas got some stories. And any of them that he's got to tell, if he would like for them to be recorded, we would be more than glad to tell them on the air. Because I love to hear somebody who lived way before we did tell about the wisdom of the past and how the world really was, not how they told you it was.
Amen to that.
When those people, when our elders are gone, the truth that they carry dies with them if they don't tell it to you. So this is one of those things I think I figured out at this point in life, is that this is the reason you're supposed to spend time with your elders, so they can tell you those stories of what went on when they were children and how life really was like. Because if somebody doesn't tell you from firsthand experience, the only experience you're going to have about how the past was looking it up digitally on something that can be changed instantaneously. I mean, they've already got a page up on Wikipedia for this chemical thing in Garden Grove. It was that fast. Pass it on. Write
So,
it down.
so the fire in LA happens to be at a used car part salvage facility. Remember how we've been talking about, these new cars and how a lot of the old car parts and their manufacturing facilities are going out of business and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
funny how there's an attack on, used car parts and things along those lines.
I think I have a deeper seated thinking of about this thing with the gas. How now we're getting this gasoline that's like super loaded with methanol. Um, these vehicles we got, they don't run good on that stuff. It is not good for the engine. And they're pushing this theory of all these new cars coming out are going to have biometric crap in it. That if your heart seems accelerated or you seem inebriated, your vehicle won't crank. So what are you trying to do? Gouge the gas and put the methanol in it to tear the older vehicles up so we're stuck buying the new ones? I mean, is that the order out of chaos? I don't know.
I think a lot of it too is getting rid of the infrastructure we have because they have to get this whole new beast system in place. So, you know, and here, gosh, just to add some insult to injury right now with this oil pipeline situation in Long Beach. So, Long Beach is higher sitting up on the scale of, think of California terrain and the West Coast. So Long Beach is sitting up above Orange County's ocean line. And so we have all this oil being trickled into the ocean right there along the shoreline. And now we're about to, if this chemical situation ends up leaking into the ocean, what kind of chemical mixture is that going to create? I mean, geez, how many scenarios do we have to freaking think about right now? This is
Well,
crazy.
the chemical issue is right here, like the chemical plant, and
Right,
this is Long Beach.
right. See
I
how,
mean,
and it's just gonna go right down, right, this right there.
yeah, there's a whole lot going on there. Whole lot going on.
Holy shenanigans, man. I need a vacation.
Yeah, it's my daddy despised gas with methanol in it. Like he didn't want to run it in anything. He said it's not for these engines. It strips all of the detergents out of the oil. That is defeating the purpose for the oil and lubrication that's supposed to be in some things. It's kind of like moonshine does to your guts. Strips all the good part out. You drink enough of it. Methanol, there goes connective ability in your car's engine. Yeah, they're after something. They always want to push out the old cars, the old tech. About the time that people get smart enough to be able to make these engines run, older year models, when trucks become cheap enough that for $1,500 you can buy a pickup truck and kind of strip it down and put an old school motor in it where you get around the electronics, we got to start phasing them out. We don't want to get people comfortable with that. They know too much about these electronics and engines to get around them, so we got to make something new. So then we got to figure out how to tear up the old. That kind of sounds like the healthcare system, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. I just had a thought. So last year, was it last year? Okay, right after Trump won the presidency and got in office, and after all the stuff that happened and that New Year's and the whole 9 yards, Disneyland made an announcement that they are building a Disneyland in Las Vegas and that they were going to quote unquote move the Anaheim location to Las Vegas.
Mm.
And you know what? You kind of see the direction I'm going right here. Is this some kind of plan kind of thing? Maybe insurance could help. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing out those ideas because that thought
New
popped
Boo
in my head. And I was like, that's a little funny. So I'm just saying.
It's awful convenient.
Awful convenient.
I encourage people, if you've never watched the show Billionaire, that's a show that you can watch that'll give you a perspective of how people with massive, massive amounts of fortune that run these massive fortune handling companies, like the ones of a dark color and look like a square, and the ones that are like the Scooby-Doo van and they have people on guard. People that run companies like that, no is not an optional word to them. And when you watch the life and times of somebody who decides that they want to go to dinner on the other side of the country tonight, so their personal helicopter picks them up on the roof and they're wearing a $10,000 dress to go impress somebody. I mean, they go spend $70,000, $80,000 to go to dinner for a night. No is not an option to these people, no matter what their underlying cause is. The evilness of greed is what propagates a lot of this problem. And they sleep well at night. Yeah, they do. They got no conscience whatsoever. If you've never watched that show Billionaire, it's one of those that'll give you a new perspective on the power. Like, this guy ran a major financial firm of the he controlled the money in this show. He controlled the pension funds for fire department, police, all of that up in New York. So he had bidding power as a financial company. He had a friend that was trying to start a pizza company here in this at-home gourmet pizza thing, and he had a competitor's shipping vessel broke down with a computer virus and delayed the opposing company's company because he was trying to help his buddy win. Like, that's the kind of pull and power. Like, they flip a switch and a ship starts saying, "Oh, we're in distress." That is not from without of the power of people with that kind of money. Just saying.
Roxy, have you heard of this? Trump has declared on July 4th the liberation of the entire world? Have you heard this?
No, I have not.
Oh,
But do let us go search it. Like I said, I've been tuned out for a minute. Let's see.
and apparently he's canceled all his Memorial Day weekend plans and is heading back to whatever, and I don't know, something's going on.
Southgate, California, now another huge fire. I don't know. I was looking on X to see what I could find over there.
Well, we have been on here for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on in the world.
Yes, there is. I mean, I know we could sit here and talk probably for several more hours, but should probably get going here. Gotta figure out dinner.
We gotta proceed on. I gotta get something to drink before I choke to death.
Yeah, that's not good. we absolutely love you guys, and thank you so much for hanging out. Sorry we didn't have as many giggles today, and I'm a little more on fire today than normal. But it is what it is. But I am so very blessed to be in this community with you guys. It is such a lovely thing now to have friends and people who understand what's really going on in the world, and that we can sit here and have these discussions and like true adults. It's a wonderful blessing. You are all a blessing to me, and Roxy, you're my biggest blessing in this whole thing. So I just love you.
Well. I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for coming hanging out with me and my bestie on a Sunday social. This is kind of our Shannon and I do this on the daily, but a lot of times it's just me and her on the FaceTime having these conversations. So we're trying to include you guys more on our Sunday socials when we get together, so that we can talk about all the big bad things going on in the world, how to remember to love each other through it, be kind to your neighbor, make sure you're saying your prayers, ground yourself, and do not be afraid, for our Father art in heaven. We will see you guys Tuesday. Love you. Good night.
Love you, and praise Jesus.
Amen.